Roma 3, Manchester United 2. We are into the Europa League final, and we don't get Arsenal. We get Villarreal, so banter on Arsenal again. I'm looking forward to that Villarreal game. I remember you used to watch Villarreal when they had, I think it was Desenya, Riquelme, Cazorla, like back in them times. So I'm looking forward to that final. We're into the final, but we made hard work of it again. 3-2 to Roma. They won the match. They're by far the better team, especially in the first half. In the second half, they could have had even more goals as well. I mean, throughout the game, they were the better team than Manchester United. We took a few of our chances, but Roma could have had double the amount of goals we had. Like, if we're being honest, David De Gea was phenomenal. And we got a bit of luck with some of them as well. So, match notes, Roma free kick caused problems for De Gea, but a great reaction save. Then had a corner, back post, I'm not sure who it was, but it was a side netting from a header. Pellegrini then had a long shot that went quite far wide. Cars dropped from right back, across to De Gea, put out for a corner. Pogba then lost the ball on the edge of the box, and Pedro blasted over. Cavani then a one-on-one with a keeper, went for the lob and it landed on the roof of the net. Probably should be scoring that. Bruno then put Cavani through again, and he blasted straight at the keeper. And to be fair to the keeper, I think it was just a reaction save because there was so much power on it and it just sort of hit his hand. He did dive for it, but I don't think he knew too much about it. Mkhitaryan then had a header from a cross, but it was offside, but went wide anyway. Pellegrini then had a shot saved by De Gea. Again, not clearing the ball though, Manchester United. Cavani then made it 1-0 with an assist from Fred. Bottom corner, keeper probably should do better. It was kind of central, even though it was bottom corner. It was sort of central bottom corner, if you know what I mean. There's bottom corner in the angle, and then there's more centrally. And it was quite central. And the keeper, I think, got a slight hand to it, but the power took it past him. But probably should be saving that. But 1-0 regardless. Cavani with a finish. Greenwood then on the edge of the box just had a shot wide. Mkhitaryan then had a chance that De Gea saved. Bruno then had a curler, edge of the left-hand side of the box, and went past the right-hand post, a little bit wide, but would have been a terrific goal if he'd have scored that. That was the first half. Second half, Dzeko made it 1-1 with a cross from Pedro, which was like a cross shot. Volleyed it into the ground, and Dzeko just unmarked centrally near the goal. Maguire should be on him, he's nowhere near him, and Dzeko makes a quick header into the ground, makes it 1-1. Cristante then makes it 2-1 to Roma, not clearing the ball again, this time mainly due to Fred, who lost it near the box, and a good finish nonetheless from the edge of the box from Cristante. Pedro then should make it 3-1. De Gea makes a double save, initially from a Dzeko effort, and then Pedro, double save from De Gea, superb again. Defence not helping him out at all. Pedro again could have had another shot very shortly after. It hit De Gea on like the heel, and he don't know nothing about it. It was just like kind of a bit of luck, to be honest. But he's got to be in a position for that luck to happen. So again, a fantastic save, and it's straight out to the side of the post and stayed in play, but we cleared it. Greenwood then hit over, tried to lift it over the keeper, but it just went past the post. Very close from Greenwood. Cavani then had a header, makes it 2-2. Great cross from Bruno and a world-class header from Cavani. Lots of power, lots of direction, knows what he's doing. 2-2. Mkhitaryan then hit the post with a shot. De Gea leaves it because he thinks he's got it covered, and he maybe thinks it's going wide, but it clips the post and luckily goes out. Dzeko then had a header over the bar from another Pedro cross. So they had a fair few chances to turn this tie around, Roma, and we rode our luck for some of them. De Gea definitely is my man of the match for this game. We'll get into the player ratings in a minute. And then Zalewski got a goal right near the end, a deflected shot from a volley. Took a deflection off of Telles and nutmegged De Gea to make it 3-2. I thought it was given offside, but just checked the score and it was 3-2. So I initially thought it was offside, but apparently the goal stood. So Roma win the match 3-2, but we go through on aggregate. Talk about making hard work of it again, though. I'm just glad that the final is just one game. So, look, Villarreal, I think we can beat them. I think we will beat them. But we're going to make it tough for ourselves again. So, look, tonight should have been a foregone conclusion. Yes, we go through, but we make it hard work for ourselves again. Player ratings. David De Gea is my man of the match. He gets an 8 tonight. Several saves. keeping us in the game. Some of them are a little bit lucky with like the one that hit his foot, but the majority of them, he's world class tonight, and he's my man of the match, so he gets an 8. Aaron Wan-Bissaka I'd give an average to. Nothing going forward again, but solid. You like on the defensive side for the most part. Positionally not great, but not the worst. Just an average game, so I give him a 5. Eric Bailly I'd give a 4, just below average. I thought, especially in the first half, he was very rash and making silly challenges. I think he might have got a yellow card as well. Just needless challenges, just clattering people and putting himself in danger and the team. So he gets a 4 for me. Calmed down a bit in the second half, but that first half was worrying. I'd give him a 4. Maguire I'd give a 6, just above average. I could argue that it should be an average or maybe slightly below, but on his headers, for the most part. Positionally on some of the chances though for Roma, he should probably be doing better, but I'd give him just above average with a 6. Shaw I'd give a 5 to, an average. Bit disappointed with him tonight. Just not the best and not the usual performance we see from Luke. Maybe it was because they were a bit unmotivated, but didn't get forward as much. Defensively, I thought he was out of position a lot because a lot of their chances were coming down that right. So an average for me. Donny van der Beek, I was very happy that he was starting, but I think he was one of the worst players on the pitch. Just very ineffective, really not in the game. Played simple balls and simple passes, but it was kind of like he was hiding from it for me. I think the game got away from him and he didn't affect it like I was hoping it would. And what I've seen him do for Ajax in the past, might have been playing further back tonight, but the quality and talent that he has, I know he's capable of more, but he didn't show that tonight. So a 3 for Donny, very disappointing tonight. Fred, I'd give an average to. Obviously, he got the assist for the Cavani first goal, but he also gets caught out and concedes the Cristante goal. So I'd give him an average. Greenwood, I'd give a 6 to. Nearly scored, very unfortunate, just wide of the post. Looked lively again at times, but a little bit hit and miss, but just above average with a 6. Bruno I'd give a 7 to. Struggled for a lot of ball time, but in glimpses he showed it, and showed it with a second goal for the assist for Cavani with a cross. Not his best game, but not his worst either. Bruno gets a 7. Pogba, 3, the same as Donny. I think he had a poor game, didn't affect it. Didn't look motivated. His passing was off from his standards anyway. And the worst game I've seen from him in a while, so he gets a 3. Cavani I'd give a 7 to. Could have arguably have had a hat-trick if not 4 goals, I think. Should be scoring a couple more of them at least, I think. But still a good game for him. I thought his hold-up play was pretty good. Showed the tenacity as always, the will to win. And I love that from him. I thought him, De Gea and Bruno were the standouts tonight. I'd have him slightly ahead of Bruno, but not ahead of De Gea. But I'd give them both a 7, obviously, Bruno and Cavani, but Cavani a little bit more, maybe a 7.5 if I was doing halves. But overall game, good game for Cavani, but probably should have scored a couple more. And then the subs, we had Williams and Telles that come on at half-time for Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. I thought Telles was even worse than Shaw was in terms of crosses coming in from Pedro in the second half on the right. Just out of place all the time. Not a good performance from Telles for me. Gets a 3. Williams, I thought done alright tonight when he come on. I give him the same as Aaron Wan-Bissaka with an average. I thought he looked solid. He made a good clearing header at one point. I think it went out for a corner, but it was under pressure and he cleared it, dealt with it. I thought he looked solid and done alright when he come on for Williams, so I give him an average. Mata and Matic and Rashford, I'd give them all an average as well. Look, they don't really affect the game when they come on, so I'm not going to give them. I'm not going to get carried away with them. Ollie tonight for me, I was annoyed that he brung Rashford on. I don't think he needed to bring Rashford on. I was annoyed that Bruno was playing, not because I don't like Bruno, but I think he needed to make more changes at the start of the game, as I said, and be braver, take more risks. But saying that, the team we put out was strong, or stronger than I would have put out, and we still made a hash of it and nearly messed it up. Maybe he did get it right in the end, but for me, I just want him to take more risks. And then players on the bench, they're going to be hungry when they come on and probably play better, and do you know what I mean? Because they got more to play for than the ones that usually start. So I'd still like him to be braver. 2 half-time substitutions, but both defensive ones. I would have liked to have seen like Shori Thierry tonight. As I said, they should have put Hugo in, I think. just take more risks, basically. Tactics, again, you should have gone with one defensive midfielder, in my opinion. He goes with two. So I'm not going to give him a massive rating tonight. Roma obviously won the game, but the players look unmotivated, and that's got to come from Ollie as well for me. So even though we're into the final, I thought it was a bit poor from Ollie tonight. So I'm going to give Ollie a 3 tonight. Might sound very harsh, but I think you've got to get them things right and take the risks and give players and youth more minutes, especially in these times when it's very unlikely the team are going to turn it around, the opposing team. So I can't give him a good rating tonight, even though we're into the final, because he doesn't take enough risks for me, especially going forward. I don't think he's the man for the long term. But he does pull it out, and we get wins, and like obviously we didn't win tonight, but on over the two games we did, and we're into the final. So, but for me, I'm going to give him a 3 tonight. But nonetheless, the main point is we're in the final, and I think we will win it now. I don't want to jinx it, but I feel confident for it. So, man of the match, David De Gea. I thought he was superb. I thought Bruno was good in bits, and I thought Cavani was just ahead of Bruno as well. So, if I hadn't give it to De Gea, I would have given it to Cavani. But De Gea is my man of the match tonight, and we got like 3 or 4 games coming up in 5 days now. So a lot of games thick and fast. But that's even more so the case as why I think he should have took more risks tonight and give younger players more minutes and the bench players more minutes than he did. So look, he did make 5 subs, which is a bonus. But for me, most of them were too late again. So swings and roundabouts. But look, we're in the final. Villarreal in the final. Can't wait for that. And I'll be back for Sunday, guys, for the game against Villa. I'll see you guys then.